Are you frustrated by investing in businesses that are trouncing on your values? Well, joining Andrew today is a fellow financial advisor, Adam Curran, who will tell us about the God Bless America Exchange Traded Fund that will give you a conservative voice with your investments. We have a guide for you that we're going to be giving away complimentary, your patriotic guide to investing. Let me start off with the phone number that you need for our show today. The number is 800-848-8768. Again, we give you this number. You may call Andrew and his awesome team for a discovery visit complimentary. Also, to get this guide, your patriotic guide to investing, 800-848-8768. And you can always find us online at swan-capital.com. Hello to you, Andrew. And
Hey, I'm so excited to talk about this topic today.
I am too, and we've got to welcome to our show Adam Curran of Curran Financial Partners, Charleston, South Carolina, the author of this new product, the God Bless America Exchange Traded Fund. Adam, welcome to our show.
Yeah, thank you for having me, guys. And Andrew, just like the title of your company, Swan, Sleep Well at Night, what we bore witness to at the planning table, time and time again, people would say to me that I believe the American dream is alive and well. I enjoy the stock market. It's been good to me. It's helped me grow my wealth, but I am sick and tired of investing my money in businesses that hate me. I'm sick and tired of investing my money into companies that are trouncing my beliefs with every public statement they make. Did you see what that company just did on social media? Did you see the television commercial that was just broadcasted in front of my children's eyes? So we created an exchange traded fund. This is like a mutual fund that trades like a stock, and it's listed on the New York Stock Exchange. And we're boycotting, we're eliminating all of the companies that feel the need to delve in the waters of social and political activism. So if these companies are coming out and making woke statements, we're eliminating from our investment universe. And what we've been left over with is a bundle of high quality, wonderful businesses that are staying in their lane, and they're putting profits over politics, profits over social activism, growing a customer base, and not making statements that offend 49 to 51% of their customers, their employees, and their shareholders. So that's what we're here shining a light on. I just want to thank you so much for sharing your radio waves with us. And I want to give out as many of these patriotic guides to investing as humanly possible. So please tap into Andrew's company. We're going to send these out in the mail to you. And hopefully you can, God-fearing, flag-waving conservatives can vote on November 8th. And they can also vote with their buying decisions when they go to the grocery store and they determine which type of soft drinks they're going to buy or clothing they purchase. And now they can also vote with their 401ks. They can vote with their investments. They can support businesses that are putting profits over politics.
And I love this because, how you spend your money matters. When you spend money at the grocery store, you're making a vote because you're putting your money into the hands of this board of directors, this CEO who's deciding to, follow, whatever woke agenda instead of actually focusing on profits. And so when we give them money, we're giving them fuel to run their company to do that. How you vote matters. On November 8th, it's going to matter how you vote, which will change the policies that ultimately impact you as the consumer. And we've seen that with gas prices. How people vote has consequences. And lastly, how you invest matters. And so if you want to get your guide to not only, spending your money, voting, but now investing patriotically, all you have to do is call our phone number at 1-800-848-8768. That's 1-800-848-8768.
You can get this complimentary, your patriotic guide to investing. And Adam, let's just back up a little bit. You said you had countless conversations with your clients who were just frustrated about the companies that they were investing in, and they were being forced to invest and support things who, were going against their own moral values. Tell us about that conversation, because I'm sure this is happening with Andrew as well.
Absolutely. You look at the largest institutions in our country, whether it be Hollywood or academia, Washington, D.C., they're polarizingly liberal, right? And I'm in Charleston, South Carolina, and I'm having conversations with real life God-fearing, flag-waving conservatives that are concerned about the direction our nation's headed, and they're concerned about their money. And these people are telling me day in and day out that they don't like the trajectory our nation's headed, and they'll be darned if they're going to support businesses that are the actors moving us in that direction. So I kept hearing people complain about it. I listened to Glenn Beck, and he sounds off about ESG investing and how it's the devil reincarnated. And but no one was doing anything about it. Like, in fact, I went to Wall Street and I said, is there an investment product out there that conservative people can plug into and sleep well at night knowing that they're not supporting radical liberal and radical progressive causes? And there was nothing to be found. In fact, there was a couple conservative funds out there, but they were basically like oil and gas and industrial funds. So I said, we got to create something. We got to fight back. We need to fight back. And I don't know what to do about Hollywood or academia or the NFL, but I know what to do on Wall Street. So we created this ETF. And what makes it a little bit different is, unlike some of those other conservative funds that are out there, in that they become oil and gas funds, we've spread the exposure within the fund across all 11 sectors of the S&P 500. So 24% of the S&P 500 is technology. 13% of it is healthcare, 11% of it's financials. And that's reflected in the allocation of our ETF. So people can feel good knowing that they're investing and they're gaining exposure to the overall market, but they're not supporting woke businesses. They're not supporting companies that are making political and social activist statements. The most surprising part in designing the fund, when I set off to create this thing, I was worried that the entire darn business world went woke. There would be no companies left over for me to invest in. It turned out it was a vocal minority. It was a small group of businesses, just like it is throughout humanity, right? You have these loudmouth victims complaining about everything. They're offended by everything. And you think that the overarching, society feels the same way. It's a small group of vocal businesses that feel the need to comment on Georgia's election reform, Florida's parental rights in education, taking the life of an unborn baby on the ruling of Roe v. Wade, funding Black Lives Matter. So businesses that felt the need to make comments on any of these types of things, we've boycotted them. We've eliminated them from our fund. And what's left over, we found, are wonderful businesses with strong leadership that doesn't feel the need to comment on every darn social topic that's dividing our nation. And oddly enough, when we create this fund, the mainstream media has greeted it with just absolute, they're aghast. How dare these unsophisticated, unenlightened conservatives create an investment product that people can feel good about owning? They hate it. They hate it. And you got to ask yourself, why? If I created an ESG fund, the media would gravitate towards it with open arms and go, oh, look at the South is enlightened now, and they believe ESG investing is smart. But God forbid we create a fund that conservatives can feel good about owning, and it immediately gets greeted with nothing but, there's probably about 50 articles written about it on the internet. I'd probably say 48 of them are negative in nature. They hate it. So right then and there, I knew we're onto something. If the media hates it, we're probably doing something that's good for society.
Exactly. I love that. All right. So
I love it.
Andrew, today on our show, we're giving away your patriotic guide to investing. Tell them how they can get this.
You definitely want to get a copy of this guide, because if you feel the same way Adam and I do, every time you go to the grocery store, you turn on, the media streaming app that you use, and you just get this agenda put in your face over and over. And you think, how can I spend my money better? How can I invest my money better? How can I vote with my actual dollars in my hands? You need to get this guide. Your patriotic guide to investing will help guide you to make better investment decisions that align with your values. So give us a call at 1-800-848-8768. That's 1-800-848-8768.
All right. And their website, I'd like to guide you to that too. There's a great blog there that Andrew writes every week on there, a monthly market recap, swan-capital.com. That's another way you can find out even more about Andrew and his team there. They have offices in Pensacola and Daphne, Alabama. And we just thank you so much for joining us today. This is What Your Money Would Say. I'm Lou Ann Fulmer here with Andrew McNair of Swan Capital. Also joining us on our show today, so excited to have Adam Curran. He is another financial advisor at Curran Financial Partners, and he has started this God Bless America Exchange Traded Fund. Adam, we're so excited for you. We are giving away your patriotic guide to investing today, complimentary, just by calling our number today on our show. What else do we need to know about this, Adam?
Well, just real simple. We went over the topic of what we're doing, and I'm sure most of your listeners are singing from the same hymnal as me. But my own father didn't even know what an ETF was. He goes, Adam, I love everything you're doing, but what's an ETF? And it's really what it is. It's a way in which you can invest $1 into one single investment instrument and spread that dollar across close to 40 different businesses, right? So it's basically, there's a saying I use, I'd rather hunt with a grenade than an arrow, right? So some people might want to buy one company, but then you run the risk of that company doing something foolish or their CEO making a bad business decision. By investing in our ETF, you're spreading the risk across 40 different businesses, across all 11 sectors. And it's a wonderful way to grow wealth and build and start your investing journey by spreading the risk across a bunch of different companies. So I think it bears repeating that it's an ETF and people don't really even know what that is, but it's an ETF you could feel good about owning if you are a conservative, right? And there are so few of these instruments that are out there. And I'll just say this again, and the system is almost rigged, right? If you are a conservative and you put money into your 401k, your money is being siphoned into companies that hate you. They hate you.
And you don't have an option if it's you're investing in your 401k, because those are the options that you have to invest in.
You have no other options, right? And all we're trying to do is give people a voice and an option to fight back. And these businesses that are in our fund, right? You can look at the top holdings. These aren't radically conservative businesses. They're just businesses that don't make public comments about social activist issues. I don't know where the tide turned, where businesses felt the need. I don't care what Abigail Disney, who's the great niece of Walt Disney, feels about when my child should be taught lessons on sexual orientation and sexuality.
And you know that it's all just another form of marketing. They're just looking for another marketing message to get out there to be relevant. And it's sad, because if they would just be quiet and focus more on the profits, they would probably be a more profitable company if they would just focus on that. And it's so fleeting, because they put on these little costumes every month or every time there's a situation where they feel like they need to speak out. And then they take off that costume as fast as possible and act like, oh, well, we can't offend everyone, so we got to pull the costume off. So it's really hilarious.
Well, the tide is rising, and it's people like you and myself, and there's advisors across the whole country who can see through it now. And they got away with it for way too long, but not anymore. Investors finally have an option that they can invest in things that are in line with their values. They can invest in businesses that don't hate them. And I just appreciate you shining a light on our little project, and hopefully lots of your listeners call in and get this free patriotic guide to investing.
Absolutely. And again, if you're listening, do check out his ETF. It's publicly traded under the ticker symbol y'all. It's hard to forget, especially here in the South. So check out God Bless America ETF, and be sure to get your guide on Patriotic Guide to Investing by just giving us a call at 1-800-848-8768. That's 1-800-848-8768, and we'll get this guide out to you ASAP.
This is What Your Money Would Say with Andrew McNair. We'll be right back.